A couple of days ago, I decided to watch most of the 3 seasons of Invincible, and literally like 5, 10 minutes ago, the first teaser trailer for season 4 just dropped, which I'm very excited about. I have no idea what the is going to happen, but I'm legitimately excited for season 4. But I did pick up on a couple of things that I think are quite noteworthy to talk about, so I'm just going to straight up jump into them. The world building of Invincible is very weird. Now, in order for you to understand exactly what I mean, I have a couple of questions for you. What is the second most valuable team after Guardians of the Globe? How many superheroes are there in the United States? Name me 5 superhero teams and 5 superheroes outside of our main cast of characters. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Here, I'll give you another one. What's it like to become a superhero in the world of Invincible? Like, do you have to register with the government or the GTA or something? Is there a legal bureaucratic process for it? Or that no, literally anyone with superpowers can just pick up a name and a costume and then call themselves a superhero. Now, these details are small, yeah, sure, but they play a very major role when it comes to building a cohesive and understandable, believable world. And I was like thinking about these questions for like 1 or 2 minutes, legitimately thinking, like, what's it like to be a superhero in the world of Invincible? And I literally could not answer this question. And then I was shocked to my fucking core when I realized that the show basically gives you 0 answers to the most basic fucking questions. The show, for some reason, does not give you the most bare bone, general, simple information for you to work off of and to like imagine what the world of Invincible is like. For example, and I'm talking about my own personal experience, for 3 seasons straight, the only superhero team that we ever hear about is only Guardians of the Globe. That's it. Not a single time is any other superhero other than the Guardians of the Globe ever mentioned, other than like season 1 with like that one team like Titanium, what like Dynamite something. It was like at episode 2 of season 1 in the span of like 5 minutes that were mentioned twice and then never ever mentioned again. Every single time that a crisis happens, whether street level, city level, planet level, the one and only team that is ever assembled is Guardians of the Globe, and that's it. No other team is ever mentioned in the entire 3 seasons of this fucking show. And every time that other superheroes do appear, their presence kind of feels artificial. And every time that a crisis happens and other superheroes are also there, they don't really contribute that much. They're just there. It's not like these superheroes exist in a team and then the team gets called for backup. That never happens. It's always the one and only Guardians of the Globe, regardless of whatever tier their danger level of that crisis is. The lack of these very simple and small details just led me to believe that for 3 seasons, the only notable and valuable superhero team was only Guardians of the Globe, and that somehow Earth was like on a superhero shortage. Like there were only 100 or so superheroes for the entire planet at best, which kind of makes more sense when you think about it, since in that case, Mark is like literally the most valuable asset for the entire mankind, because if he's gone, there's only like 100 superheroes that are going to defend like an army of fucking Veltrumites. Season 3 now rolls up, and oh my fucking god, who the fuck are these people? Suddenly, out of fucking nowhere, the show just abruptly, out of, again, fucking nowhere, just introduces these characters. Who the fuck is this guy? Like, what are these designs? Who are these people? Like, why did the show never mention the existence of these characters? The least that you can do as the writer of a show, as the writer of a story, is to mention. If you're not going to show, do your best to at least tell the audience, at least let us know that in the background there are some teams, there are some superheroes that work solo, work together, whatever. Like, genuinely, be honest with me. Weren't you surprised by all these new superheroes that you never heard of suddenly getting introduced into the story and like playing a major role? So when these superheroes suddenly appeared on screen, I was like, wait, I never, you get what I mean? Like, wasn't that a little bit abrupt? Didn't you like feel a bit surprised? So other than the fact that the only superhero team that was introduced to us in a valuable way was only Guardians of the Globe, and literally no other superhero team or other superhero was ever mentioned, and then suddenly out of fucking, again, nowhere, season 3 like does this shit, it felt incredibly inconsistent to me. And that's one of the problems. I'm going to give you other examples. How many of you, I'm legitimately asking, how many of you guys actually remember the Atlantean underwater civilization of fish people that live in the fucking oceans? How many of you legitimately? Because I sure as hell fucking didn't. I go ahead, I rewatched season 2. I'm staring at the screen. I'm thinking to myself, wait, did this episode actually happen? Wait, these people actually exist? How come I've never heard of them? It's only from one episode and then they're never mentioned again. Invincible's world design is so weird. It's so underwhelming and so undercooked that it's legitimately baffling to me. You have so many interesting ideas, literally infinite possibilities, and the writers never use any of them. And when they do something with it, studios. It's like so underwhelming and underexplored. Second example, fucking Crime Syndicate. Every single time that I see these motherfuckers, what I like to imagine in my head is that they have like one small neighborhood in the entire fucking city, comprising of like 2-3 small fucking streets and corners. And if that's their only territory, you do not step in it, you're gonna be completely fine. That's how far their reach is. Now, to be fair, the Crime Syndicate, whatever the fuck underground organization, crime, whatever the fuck they're called, they have a more prominent role in the story. Yes, that is true. But let's be fucking honest, they are also very underwhelming. The only time that you are paying attention to them is when they are literally on screen and you're looking at them. Anytime that these guys are relevant, or for that matter, any other element of Invincible's world building, they only matter for that one particular episode that the stories literally center on. Afterwards, after that episode ends, you literally forget about them. They don't exist in an organic way where they are affecting things behind the scenes. Something happens, and then they go, wait, Crime Syndicate did this group did that group did this. Their relevance is only limited to when they are literally on screen. Generally, writers should try to like provide enough bare bone and basic general information about the story. They don't have to answer every single question that you have, but they give you enough good chunk of information to work off of so that you can basically figure out the answers yourself. What makes the world building of Invincible so weird is that it feels so small, even though that it's supposed to be bigger. Because it's not given enough room to grow, it feels smaller than it should. Like, I'll give you another one. How long were the Guardians of the Globe around? Like 10, 20, 30 years? I don't know, because the show never tells us. What we're talking about is the Incredibles level of world building and lore. So much potential, so many shit you can just do, and the writers just never go that far. Now, I'm not saying I want Invincible to have My Hero Academia or One Piece level of world building, but what I'm saying is that Invincible is just simply lacking in that department.
Aw, look at her, she's adorable.
Now, Invincible has a similar issue when it comes to its side characters. I've watched this show more than 2-3 times, which says a lot. I usually do not rewatch shows because I usually binge them and it takes a lot of energy and effort. I usually don't do that, but Invincible is actually that good. And every single time I finish season 1, I'm so hyped for the next seasons. I always tell myself, dude, I can't wait to like explore all these interesting side characters and see their backstories, see their motivations and what they're gonna do and so on and so forth. And that's when you realize that the show does not really handle its side characters that well. Not the way that it should. None of the side characters that we follow, our own main team, we're talking about Guardians of the Globe, our own main characters, none of these characters really get to have a moment to shine. None of these characters really get their own highlights. They are on the screen, we spend a lot of time with them, but they just say stuff. The amount of information that is given to us through these characters is not enough for us to like form a connection and form a relationship with them. Much like the world building of Invincible, a lot of times when it comes to these characters, they are incredibly lackluster and underwhelming. The writers could just put a little bit more effort and make us understand the motivations of why these characters do what they do. Like, do all of these characters share the same moral principle? Like, yeah, I want to be a superhero because it's the right thing to do. Or for some of them, it's more of a social standing kind of situation. We don't know because the show does not go there. They have these moments where they talk about their past, they talk about growing up like this, like that, but it's like a 1 or 2 dialogues. It's not enough. They talk about it in one episode, and like the amount of information that is provided to you is so little. What can I work with? Jesus Christ. Like Ray talks about how her parents set her up to become a superhero, so like combat training, bomb defusal. But then that's it. She never goes further than that. We never know what her likes and dislikes are, what her fear is, what her general motivations are. Same thing with Rex. Yeah, he says that his parents like sold him to the government, but it never goes further than that. Same thing with Monster Girl. Same thing with like Black Samson. These characters are there. We do spend time with them. They are on the screen, but there is no quality time. The only time that they were able to somewhat do this correctly was with Rex, but again, that's primarily because they were setting him up to die. Like, it's still not in the I mean, like, I do love his character development. Now, a lot of people do take issue with it. They say that it's not a realistic enough of the character progression. Like, it's not, his progress as a character does not feel that realistic. Rex is the exact type of retard who would completely turn his life around if he survives a gunshot to the back of his head. That's literally his personality. This gimmick would not work anywhere near this good if it was for any other character other than Rex. He's literally that fucking stupid. It works perfectly for him. And then this is where you say, but Darius, Robot actually has a very interesting personality. He's starting to have a character. For those of you who don't get it, this is a you know if you know type of deal, okay? What I'm trying to say is, and I'm doing a very shit job at explaining it, even though that we spend a lot of time with these characters, we don't know anything about them. I'm asking you genuinely, like, what's it like to live in these people's shoes? When these characters are not being superheroes, like saving the world or like fighting random bad guys or whatever, what are they doing? What is their day-to-day life like? Like, what's their hobbies? What are their motivations? What's their background? Again, these characters are there. We do spend time with them, but it's not quality time. They just say shit and then do shit. That's it. Like, I'm not even talking about the writers showing us. I'm just saying, tell us how these characters are. Like, that's the bare minimum, which the show doesn't do.
She looks like she's 14. Besides, I can bang anyone I want.
Anyway, that's about all I had to say for now. Because I rewatched the 3 seasons of the show recently, I do have a bunch of other things that I want to say, but I'm gonna keep them for later. Those videos are still under construction. Anyway, stay tuned for that if you want. You fucking idiots. I still haven't come up with an outro. I'm such a lazy piece of shit. I swear to God.
Well, this has been about as much fun as eating a light bulb.